Inviting you to go out on the lane. Good morning from Dallas Fort Worth Airport. Yes, I'm super excited today because I'm heading to Kagoshima via Haneda. And why am I excited? Because I get to ride in JAL's first class from Dallas Fort Worth on flight JL11 to Haneda. So really excited. Haven't really tried JL first class before. I'm usually a all Nippon guy. So I'm curious to see how this JL how they do in terms of the great Japanese hospitality, because if you talk to a lot of my Japanese friends, they love their JL. They equate, I think one of my close friends told me that JL is like Dior, while ANA is like Calvin Klein, which I wholeheartedly disagree, but that's her opinion. So anyway, so I can't wait to try JL because of that. Not her opinion aside, I've read great things about it. It's actually the world's top 10 airline this year. So it has a great reputation. So I'm really excited. I actually checked in already, got my boarding pass, super excited. We're gonna go to the Admiral Lounge. There's actually no JL lounge here at Dallas Fort Worth, so we're gonna use our American Airlines lounge, and then we're gonna board and experience the great Japanese hospitality. Seated in seat 2A today. I'm really looking forward to it. Super excited. This is actually one of my more excited trips in a while. So come go on a limb with me and we will check out JL First Suite together. Folks, before we start, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notify button for new contents that I upload weekly. Thank you. So guys, I might have misspoken. I'm going to the Flagship Lounge AA, not the Admiral Club, because I guess the Flagship Lounge is better. So located next to the Capital One Lounge is the American Airlines Flagship Lounge. The entrance is actually really inviting. It's really bright and clean with a view of the American Airlines planes. And of course, when you first enter, on your right hand side, you see the Piper high-tech champagne counter, because they have a partnership with American Airlines. So the lounge itself is really long, I think, in design and bright, and this is one of the 4 lounges. You can find the other 3 in Miami, LA, as well as JFK. So it's quite unfortunate that when I came here, it was in the morning, so the private dining section was actually not open. Otherwise, I would have taken advantage of it. So, but there was actually a buffet available during my time of visit. So the lounge itself, you never run out of spaces to sit, if you ask me, because there are a lot of chairs and tables, and also some private rooms if you want to watch TV. There is actually a TV room, and across from the TV room you get another smaller room as well if you want more privacy to enjoy your food, or even just lounge around with lounge chairs. Of course, there's actually showers here if you actually want to shower before your flight, and the seat itself is actually pretty wide, and also, like I said, there are views of American airline planes everywhere. When it comes to refreshments, you actually have the wine counter, of course, with the Piper high-tech champagne, if I can pronounce that correctly. When it comes to food, there's actually an omelette station, and also a lot of the hot food and a salad bar as well. So the food, this was actually during breakfast time. I think it's pretty good. There's also some sushi, obviously for the Japan Airlines customer. So the boarding area was actually bright and spacious, and people were actually lining up to board. So it was actually done in a really orderly fashion. I have to say, the baby here, went to sleep quite prematurely. Could have actually saved the sleep during the flight. So the super friendly flight attendant showed me to my seat. I had seat 2A today in this spacious cabin. At first glance, the seat is nothing fancy. Japan Airlines, first suite. Seat itself reminds me of like your grandpa's chair, especially with the brown color. It's actually really comfortable, especially with the ottoman where you can rest your leg, and it also serves as a seating area for someone who wants to dine with you. As you can see, there's a seat belt there as well. Obviously, this is Japan Airlines, so slippers are handed out, and also you have the headset The headset is not Bose, but it actually worked really well on this flight. And there are places to store magazines, reading lights, as well as different compartments to store your belongings. There's actually quite a few. There's actually one here with the phone. You can actually find the phone as well, and a little area to store maybe your passports. The seat itself, the seat control, depending on where you're seated, could be on the left or your right hand side of your seat. There's actually more compartments to store your stuff right next to it, and also this is actually where you find your entertainment handset. There's also another compartment way up front where you can actually juice up your device as well, but it's a bit far, I have to say, to reach. So with an almost 80-inch seat pitch, it's actually a really long seat. In fact, I can extend my leg and still not reach the other end. Towels were handed out, as well as cold pressed juice. There was a nice touch, and a steam eye mask to rest your eyes before the flight departs. So there are reading lights to my left as well as my right. The seat itself is 33-inch in width, as well as an impressive 78.5-inch in bed length or seat pitch. So even though it looks like your grandfather's chair, is actually really comfortable. Of course, there's a leather-bound stationery. It's really classic, holding your arrival card, your free Wi-Fi card, cleansing wipes, as well as the your in-flight catering menu, your beverage menu, and your food menu. When it comes to the food selection, of course, Japan Airlines has recruited a bunch of famous, popular Japanese chefs to design the in-flight menu. When it comes to the food choices, you have your classic Japanese meal. It's an impressive array of omakase dishes, which I'm going to show you because I had that. But for those who actually prefer international cuisine, that choice is available as well. There's also a lot of a la carte choices that you can order as snacks throughout the flight. So it's actually, when it comes to in-flight dining, is actually top-notch here on Japan Airlines. The amenity kit was pretty standard, I have to say. I mean, it holds all the usual items like toothbrush and lotions and toothpaste and comb. So I was all settled in and ready to go because the seat was really comfortable, and the cabin temperature, despite being a Japanese airline, is actually really not hot at all, even though my neighbor had brought on his clip-on fan. I'd never seen someone bringing a clip-on fan to first class. But yeah, so he was actually ready for the hot in-flight cabin of Japan Airlines. Perhaps there's one thing that Japan Airlines could improve on is actually the entertainment handset. It's actually not very easy to use. It's not very user intuitive, and it's actually slow to respond. The Wi-Fi was actually provided free for first class passengers, but even if you had to buy it, the rate itself was actually not that bad. So time to dine, the tray table is easy to deploy. You just have to move it close to you. It's not something that you have to take it out of a compartment. We started with some amuse-bouche and some great, my favorite wine, Gewürztraminer. It was actually really good, and in between that, as the flight attendants were preparing the meals, they actually gave you some snacks as well. So I went with the Japanese meal, and oh my god, what a meal. Started off with some simmered chicken meatballs and mushroom dressed with tofu sauce. The grilled cod roast soba noodles were delicious, steamed savory chawanmushi or egg custard, and the prawns with eggplants. There was this really beautiful soup. It was really tasty. It's actually just a clear soup with julienne vegetables. It was really delicious. Had the scallop and seared soy marinated tuna with the seared mackerel with eggplant as well. So these were amazing dishes. I mean, this is a full course that lasted for a few hours. But my meal did not start with caviar, which I found to be a bit odd, and it turned out that caviar
on Japan Airlines First Class listed under a la carte, which means you can order as many as you want. So I interjected my omakase meal with a caviar dish. My traditional Japanese meal resumed after my caviar with some warm chirashi rice topped with shrimps, as well as the I think it's a beef roll. Yes, it's beef roll with celery and some miso soup. And of course, being an Asian airline, fruit was offered as part of a dessert, and this special Kyoto-style dessert in autumn colors, which is a grapefruit flavor, and it was really good as well. So time to put into my PJs after that meal, and the flight attendant made up my bed, so it's actually time to get some shut-eye, and I actually did sleep really comfortably for 7 hours. It was a really comfortable seat. So I woke up, feeling a little hungry or peckish, and so I ordered another round of caviar with the special JL ramen. It's supposedly a healthy ramen because there's no meat in it. And it was delicious. And I washed my meal down with this fancy tea served on board called Queen of Blue Tea. That's actually bottled in a wine bottle. Apparently, the tea leaves are only picked once a year by the tea sommelier, and it's around $35–40 a bottle. You have to drink it in certain temperature, and it's actually refreshing. So watch a couple more movies using this handset that I really hated, and actually nap an hour in between. And before you knew it, we were about like an hour and a half before landing, so had another meal with the Chilean sea bass with yuzu sauce, which was really delicious, and of course miso soup again. So overall, this was a fantastic flight, and it's definitely a great use of my AA Advantage miles. So the service was actually top notch.
Please make sure to keep your seatbelt fastened until the approach from
Hey guys, so I've arrived at Haneda Airport. I was gonna say the flight's really good, JL11. The only complaint I have, it's the entertainment system. It's kind of hard to use, the device, so I think they need to upgrade that. But other than that, the in-flight service is amazing. They're so attentive. I have to say the crew work really hard. Even though there's I would say about 3 hours of the flight. The overall flight is about 13.5 hours, but 3 hours of the flight, there was quite bad turbulence, but they kept apologizing for that. I was like, look, you can't control the weather, so why apologize? But they did. They're really nice. So I'm continuing on my journey to Kagoshima. It's Andrew signing off from Haneda. Just an amazing flight on Japan Airlines Flight 11 from Dallas Fort Worth to Haneda, Tokyo Haneda.